What is up, recruits? Listen up, because today I'm gonna learn you some Minecraft. Oh yeah. In today's sequel to the previous world tour, we will be covering the cathedral, along with some outlying builds surrounding the cathedral. Yes, i.e. Chuck's Lumber Mill, Dirty Steve's Bayou, the bee farm along with Trade City, and of course, the cathedral itself. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Skidz, that is a lot of wood around you. What made you choose to play with so much wood? I liked it more than stone at the time. I just liked playing with different variants. I just really liked the warmth of all the wood, and the stone kind of detracted that. So I tried to use little stone only in the paths that you see here, kind of using them as accents in this area. But a large reason why I used so much wood is because of this next area that I'm about to show you. Chuck's Lumber Mill. That's Chuck's Lumber Mill right here. This is a building that I built with my buddy Antoine that doesn't really have a purpose, just looks cool. It was a fun little project to make. But this very fancy path, let's talk about that for a second. Took a lot of time to build this path, and boy does it look really, really good. If we head over here real quick, I'll kind of do a bit of a spoiler on the cathedral. So if we head over here, we have this map right here. And just looking at the map itself, I love the way that the path looks. First off, Chuck's Lumber Mill, the entire area itself was swampland that was scattered, much like this right here, just water and little patches of dirt. So in order to get it like it is now, I had to build on top of the area. So all of the grass that you see was placed by hand. Furthermore, I put in this path, and I just really love the way this entire area looks on the map. I love the way that the hills just cascade downward in this rippling effect. Like, look at these paths compared to this path up here. Now, I love the cathedral, but the path right here is just very plain and boring, whereas this one has a lot more going on. Compare this path to that path. Looks all muddy and used, and like there's logs and planks down on the ground from different trucks dropping random spare pieces of wood. And obviously all of the tree trunks are to symbolize the lumber mill. This is a lumber mill, of course, and it's a fully functioning one at that. We're gonna go ahead and go inside real quick. Chuck's Lumber Mill, days since last accident, 0, unfortunately. It's very dangerous here, as you can see. The supervisor is not very great, even though he's always there. He's always there staring down, but never really does anything. Lots of broken glass and whatnot. But as we move towards the back, this is where the real inner workings go on. Now, if I go into Spectator, we can see everything that's going on here. This is Illmango's amazing and ingenious tree farm. I cannot stress enough how awesome this thing is. If you asked me to recreate this now, I definitely would not be able to recreate it just like off the cuff. This is some complex redstone machinery, magicry, awesomeness going on here. But I can explain it to you kind of. Like, see, and now, okay, so the power button for this thing, to turn it on, you gotta go press this barrel and exit. So what happens here is if you grab some saplings and place them here, yeah, it all happens pretty quickly. But what's going on is this dispenser is spewing out bone meal, grows the tree very quickly. Then this comparator senses that from a signal from here. The signal goes through the dispenser and the tree, and it senses it right here through this comparator, which powers this furnace, which powers this redstone down here, and powers all this magicry, which powers these thingies that crush all the leaves, and then the leaves collect in these hoppers right here. Then the leaves spew out of this dispenser, which gives me more saplings to grow more trees. And as that happened, this piston back here, it's actually a double piston. One comes out, and the next pushes this log forward, which pushes these logs forward, And as they come out, you probably already hear the TNT explodes, breaking them, dropping them into this water, going in that hopper. Stuff goes down through that hopper into this item sorter, and then all of the different types of wood and sticks get sorted out through these canals. They go up into their respective barrels. It's pretty awesome, pretty cool, pretty cool. Also, it technically powers itself in the sense that I have included a watermelon and pumpkin farm out of the back side of it. So, if I get through this water here, obviously we have some aesthetics, giant blade, big crate. So I go through here, this is all the redstone, and then back here, this is the watermelon and pumpkin farm that I have, or at least one of, that powers the system. As you hear, that's compost being made through there. This isn't the only watermelon and pumpkin nut farm that I have, just because that was not nearly enough to power this thing, and I still don't have enough. Most of this bone meal is from a skeleton farm that I have. But if we go down here, take a ride down, and that obviously was the canals, the water canals. So we can access that maintenance through there. But if we come in here, this is the secondary watermelon and pumpkin farms that are much more efficient. Every time the pistons come down, that's a watermelon or a pumpkin forming and immediately being pressed and sent into these dispensers to be sent up to be made into bone meal. There's also a level down there as well that's identical to this. And here they are. Beautiful. Very beautiful. And I really like just seeing all of the watermelon and pumpkins come through. It's quite interesting. Quite the sight. Alright, heading back up. Yeah, buddy. Oh, and all of the bone meal from downstairs goes up here and then through these chests into these composters, along with all of the bone meal from these guys. And then, obviously, it goes through here. And it's backed up to here right now, not including all of the bone meal in here. So, pretty good, pretty efficient. This area definitely satisfies all of my wood needs, I guess. Tree needs. Burp. Yeah, this area definitely gives me all of the trees and wood that I need to build everything that you see around us at all times, pretty much. Yeah. Beautiful. 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 Alright, so moving to the aesthetics. Moving to the aesthetics now. Inside, as you saw, we have some lights up top. A giant saw blade for the bigger trees. Some storage. Some giant crates. Shelves with storage. And, oh my gosh, these things right here. I love these forklifts. When I created this, I think I was inspired by Corrales. I think Corrales on the Hermitcraft server. If you haven't noticed, I love the Hermitcraft server. He had made a forklift similar to this. It's not the same, but it just sparked inspiration in me where I came in and built this myself. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty beautiful, and I love the little headlights made with the mini blocks. Awesome. Very awesome. If you got some construction site or area in your world that needs a forklift, feel free to steal my design. This is probably my favorite part, the beds used as tail lights. Beautiful. Love it. Loving it. I love this area. I find it pleasant to be here, regardless of what's going on. Ah, yes, and the books. I forgot. I have books here as well. Welcome to Chuck's Lumber Mill. Here we grow, cut, treat, and process lumber. Variants include spruce, oak, birch, and jungle. Supplies can be found in the closest labeled barrel stacks. Turn left for maintenance and entrance to the bone meal farm. Turn right for power and the workstation. And this is how you operate. I went ahead and added this just in case anybody were to come into my world and want to know how to operate it that doesn't. And I gave credit to Illmango. That is very duly. This thing is just freaking awesome. Like, I cannot stress that enough. He probably spent like months creating this design and then showcased it in a video, and I'll be sure to leave it into the description. If you can build it in your world, or if you find yourself farming wood a lot and you do not like farming wood like I don't like farming wood, then this thing is your best freaking friend. So go ahead and get it. Back to the aesthetics. We got more forklifts out here and some rails to deliver the packages up into the facility. Before doing this area, I have never built any sort of vehicle in Minecraft. Nothing. Like, for some reason, it just never even came to mind. Not a car or a plane or a truck or anything like that. So this was new territory for me, and I think that it really came out nicely. Like, you know what it is as soon as you see it, and it's got some cool little details, like the lever's supposed to be the exhaust with the campfires, and, you know, the buttons on the wheels, and the door handle, and of course we got Mumbo and Scar inside, with Scar directing Mumbo over here. Yeah, it just came out really nicely. I'm really digging it. I'm digging it. And of course, on the outside, we have the piece de resistance of Chuck's lumber mill. I don't even know what this is called. The tree cutter thing that just rolls along and cuts trees and plops them in the back and brings them up here or to the truck for delivery or whatever. I don't know. Regardless, I really like how it turned out. It's almost like I drew inspiration from like the Tonka toy construction vehicles that we used to have when we were kids, if you remember those. Yeah, I like this facility. And then of course around it, these are all custom trees where I kind of just like grew trees on top of trees, and some of them are a little more detailed than others. But I just wanted to have this big forest surrounding the area. And of course we have the watermelon pumpkin farm out the back that kind of looks like a circuit board. I was going to cover it up, but I kind of liked how all of the redstone looked, so kept it like that. Looks very industrial. So this is definitely one of my favorite places in Hunkala, is Chuck's Lumber Mill. It's very resource efficient, very effective, gives me lots of wood, and the area looks very nice. On top of it, as you see with all of the carpets that are around, the area is completely spawn proof. I have tested that with hours of AFKing. Here, as our little final part of Chuck's Lumber Mill, is, I guess, Chuck's house. This is where Chuck lives with his father and his wife. It's a pretty small place, but walk up and we have in here Cub Fan. This is Chuck's father, I guess, cooking a meal. And we go upstairs and we have Stress Monster writing a book or a diary or something. I don't know. Sue me. I don't know what's going on in this world. I only build every part of it. I just try and make it seem like stuff's actually happening in it. Oh, and my favorite part of it, we have the outhouse right here. Beautiful. So, yes, that is Chuck's Lumber Mill. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Also, real quick, if you're building a house like this, it looks so cool, especially when it's like in the wilderness or something, to add all the bushes on top. Like, if you imagine this house without the bushes on top, it just didn't come out quite as good. Like, I built everything and I tried to go for this like log cabin style. I built it and then I kind of like was turning my head like there's something missing, and I just started spamming bushes and vines on top, and it just really brings the build together for some reason. I guess just because it matches all the trees and the grass around it. Otherwise it'd stick out like a sore thumb other than the path. Definitely a good tactic. It's beautiful, beautiful. Over here we have Dirty Steve's Bayou. Now, there is absolutely no purpose to these builds. I just wanted to build a series of small little houses just because I was tired of all the big projects that I had on my plate. So there's not much to this area. It's just aesthetic and it's just nice to look at. I did, of course, add interiors because I'm not a savage that just builds random houses with no purpose. I have to have interiors. I do like building interiors, but it's also like a challenge that I've set for myself where I'm not going to have any empty builds. That's just a goal of mine. You can come and live here if you want. It's up to you. And I think the best part of the Bayou is the view from Spawnville. It just makes the area seem much more condensed. Like there's a lot more in this area than just what you see in front of you. And that's kind of why I also built like the windmill right here. The windmill has no purpose other than aesthetics. It's just there looking cool, you know? And really, when you think about it, that's all Minecraft is, like once you get past the survival aspect of it. But again, we do have the functional part of this all, you know, so this is supposed to be the gears that turn the windmill or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what this is for. Control room for the windmill. I don't know how windmills work, as you can probably tell. Additionally to Dirty Steve's Bayou over here, I actually found a fossil, which if you don't know is extremely rare in the game. It's just composed of bone blocks, but these are very rare to find. So if you do find these, don't break them, preserve them. And I planned on having kind of like an archaeological dig site, but that has not come to fruition quite yet, unfortunately, just because of time constraints and it not being on the tip of my priority list. Another thing is it kind of makes it difficult with it being in the middle of the lake. As you see here, I had to build this little container to make a way down. But my plan is to kind of bring this peninsula outwards a little bit, leaving the river, and then just having a hole next to the river where the dig site is located. I'm thinking of putting like a crane or something along those lines, something to reach down and pick up the fossil and bring it out of the hole. Look forward to that. Just a fun little project to do in the future. Now, moving on from the fossil, we have the bee farm. This is an extremely useful area in the world. Obviously, I built this at the beginning of 1.15 when the bees originally came out. Now, for this build, there's not really much to it. Over here, we have the honeycomb farm, some basic redstone to extract honeycomb from the bee hives and nests that I have so beautifully assorted here. And then over here, of course, we have the honey bottle farm. Decently efficient. I have to come in here and form the honey blocks and whatnot. All of the bottles get placed back into this box. I also have some bee nests with bees in them outside of the farms themselves just to give some more life to this place. I wanted to have these gardens up top, mainly because this farm did not take up the entire build. We had this area up here, so I just wanted there to be something beautiful up top. Beautiful. So that is the bee farm. Additionally, I put a lot of time into the area that it's on. I built up this little platform just because I didn't want it to be on the ground. I wanted it to be kind of interesting. I really like this little cliff here. Put a lot of time into detailing it, putting in all of the lights, all of the little slabs and walls and stairs and buttons. Now from the bee farm, we have this little boat dock. This is where you get your boats rentals. I don't know, while you're on your way home or to church or to Trade City, you can stop off, get a boat like these guys here, get a gondola, get a swan. Beautiful. Yeah, I just added this little boat shop just to add something to the area, kind of tie it up. Just wanted to even things out as far as the cathedral goes. This area right here seemed a little bare, seemed a little blank, so I wanted to add something there. And honestly, I still to this day feel like there's something missing about this like front area right here. I just not sure what to add to it. If anybody out there has any ideas, feel free to comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts if you're willing to give them, of course. I'm not sure what else to put up here. Maybe build right here. That would be nice, maybe. Maybe one right there. I think one right here would do us nicely. But focusing on the things that we do have is the big mamma jamma right here, the cathedral. Let's move on to that. Oh yeah. Now we have the fountain out front, which of course is just aesthetic. It's just a centerpiece that I wanted to tie up the paths and make this area that much more aesthetic. Moving into the cathedral itself, one of the first assets of the cathedral are the maps on the fronts here. Now I do have a book for the cathedral as well. Welcome to Emerald Cathedral. Here, you can store your items trained with an assortment of villagers and brew potions in our alchemy lab.
Trading hall, item worth each type of villager, 52 librarians with every enchantment. Those who sell paper are labeled. Storage, insert supplies in barrels around fountain, or throw items in fountain. All items are sorted into chests. Unsorted items will enter overflow chests in the far bottom left. Trash can, task board, in battle statue, paper mill, villager breeder, alchemy lab.
And that's it. So we'll take that book to view for later. But yes, this is the map of the world. I showed it when we viewed Chuck's Lumber Mill. Here you can see Spawnville, the almighty head of Thor. You can see the church, Trade City, Witch Alley, Chuck's Lumber Mill, and Dirty Steve's Bayou. We have a lot more to this world than just this area. There is Macaulay Village right over here, and plenty of other stuff across the world that is most easily accessed through the Nether. With the Nether portal right here, of course. Moving away from the maps, we have the villager trading, one of the best parts of this cathedral. The main reason why I built this giant hall. We have all of the trades that you could find here in the game. Protection 4, Sharpness 5, Thorns 3, Power 4, Efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, Sweeping Edge 3, Mending, Infinity, Riptide 3, even though we don't have a trident. We even have the curses. We have any enchantment that you could possibly need here in this church. So come and get it. More so than just the librarians, we also have every other type of villager that you could need. The cartographers, the butchers, the clerics, the farmers, whatever you need. The farmers I use rather regularly to keep up my steady supply, my rather copious addiction to golden carrots. Yes, they are my golden carrot dealers. Moving away from the villagers, we have the almighty sorting system itself. I am very, very proud of this thing. It is a basic item sorter, or at least the units for this are just a basic item sorter. A good old comparator coming out the hoppers, leading to a redstone torch. Yeah, that whole deal. But the absolute scale of making this, compacting everything, making sure that all of the items go through the water streams was an absolute hassle and a half. I love building this thing, but I'm so glad that it's done and over with. The only problem is that now that 1.17 is out, yeah, we're going to have to make some room for the new blocks. Fortunately, there are a lot of things, a lot of places in this item sorter that go underutilized. So yeah, we can probably take some stuff like that out. But for the item sorter itself, you can place anything that you want in here, shulker box or item. You can either toss it into the fountain right here or place it into this barrel. The items in the fountain will go into that hopper down there, and items in the barrel will go to the hoppers underneath here. From there, they will get sucked into this dispenser, where they will be spat out of the dispenser on a delay. Now, the delay is there just to keep all the other redstone working in this area. Now, from the dropper, it spits items out at a delay, shulker box or regular items, regardless. It spits them out as the item drop itself, not the actual block. And then from there is the shulker sorter. This will sort out if it's a shulker box or a regular item. If it's a regular item, it will go into this shulker box, into the items in potions area. If it is a shulker box filled with items, then obviously shulker box cannot go into other shulker boxes. So that filled shulker box will go through these hoppers, and once it comes out of this dispenser, the shulker box will be set as a block on that hopper. It will start to feed out, get rid of all of the items in it through the hopper, and once the shulker box is empty, this comparator will sense that. That comparator will turn off, which will turn on all of this stuff, and turn on a piston right there, breaking the shulker box, sending the shulker box through the system itself. So that's the shulker sorter. Now, if it's not a shulker box, all of the items and potions will be sent through here. Now, any potion or potion ingredient will be put into this brewing stand. All of those items will be sent to the potions lab rather than the item sorter itself. The potions lab is in the far right wing. From there, all of the regular items, of course, will be sent through these hoppers right here, down here, and back with the other shulker box items and the broken shulker boxes. And that's the sorting system in a nutshell. That's all there is to it. Decently complicated. I'm really proud of this thing. This thing was a time and a half to create, but so definitely worth it. So that is the inner mechanics of the storage system. For the water streams itself, now I put a few cobblestone blocks and glowstone blocks in here as an example. So you see them go through there, they're dropping down here, and you see they're not going through these hoppers, they're going into this box, through this dropper, down through this hopper, through these, and through here into these droppers. Now from there they go here, and through this water stream, they go all the way up, and through these water streams. Now the honey is just there so they maintain on the edge. So when they glide past these hoppers on the side, the hoppers will actually suck them up because the honey blocks themselves are smaller than a block. And at the very end of the stream here, it just goes straight into an overflow chest. And that is the storage system. Now, above the storage system, we have the farms board, the scoreboard, if you will. I just wanted a visual way to display all of the farms that I've created on this world, and this is my way of addressing that. Now, we have, obviously, all of the lamps in the center with the item frames, with items that represent the farms. The skeleton farm, blaze farm, obviously, leather, hoglin farm. You get it. You get the point. Now, the reason why I put the colors on the outside, and I thought this was rather clever, is that you have to know which item frame or which lamp you're turning on. So from the back, there are plenty of just regular old switches, but it's hard to tell which one that you need to turn on. Say I wanted to turn the magma cream one on. If I didn't have the colors on the outside, I wouldn't know. So for the magma cream, I say, okay, I need to go light blue, dark blue, and we go over here, and this is the back side of it. So we have light blue, dark blue. There we go. So now the magma cream one is on. And of course, the centerpiece for the storage area is me. It's a memorial of my fight against the Ender Dragon and a collection of the Ender Egg. Yes, that let's go with that. Sure. Additionally to this area, of course, we have a good old double furnace. We also have a trash can right here. Anything that you throw into this trash can goes into this dispenser, into this lava right here. Very simple stuff, but also very useful, very important. Use it all the time. Going into this area, we have the sugarcane farm. Now, this is the biggest sugarcane farm that I have ever built and probably ever seen. Now, I'm not saying it's the biggest. I'm sure somebody has me beat. I'm sure you could very easily find it, but I'm just saying I have never seen a bigger one. So these are the overflow chests, or the end of the line of chests for the sugarcane, just because I obviously have to craft the sugarcane into paper and trade them with the librarians. The source of the sugarcane is from these units right here. Yes. These are ImpulseSV's design, these individual 8 long units. And this is a 100% efficient zero drop lossage sugarcane farm. So no sugar canes will be stuck on the grass or on the walls or anything like that. All sugarcane will end up in this water stream down here or in this water stream down here, get pushed forward and end up in these chests right here. Now, as you can see, there are tons of chests and they are not yet filled, but pretty close to it. I believe it is right here. Yes, this is the end of the line. All the sugarcane ends up in these two chests right here. These chests are just to collect all of the rest of them. Keep a backlog of storage. We have a plenty of paper, if you know what I'm saying. Now, you may have been wondering where I got all of these villagers from. I definitely didn't bring them all the way from the villager breeder over there. No, I brought 2 villagers over here and created this villager breeder back here. Right here. Now, this isn't the villager breeder itself. This is the collection area of the adults. Rather, the villager breeder is back through this hallway in the mechanics. I don't like to waste room in this world, as you may have already noticed. So we utilize this little corner right here, and I'm pretty proud to say that it works. It works very efficiently. We just have a good old farmer villager and a regular testificate right here. And these guys will just chillax, you know, hanging out, feeding each other carrots and whatnot. And if they're going too slow, I can just hit this right here and feed them some bread and whatnot. They're delectables. They will get together, breed, and their baby will inevitably run towards the desirable beds that you see right there that they are connected with but can't actually get to because of this trap door. The baby will run under this trap door trying to get to these beds as long as the system is turned on. The system turns on and off by the activation of this piston. If this piston is turned on, it covers up their line of sight with these beds by this glass block. They will not have any babies if they cannot get to these beds, or at least if they do not think that they can get to these beds. So if this glass block is right here, turns off the system. If the system is on, they brew the babies or breed the babies. Brew the babies. Breeded babies run through here, drop into this water stream, go through here, and they kind of hop along here until they become adults. And when they become adults, their heads will enter this water right here, bringing them up, over, and drop down right there. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Pretty simple stuff. Yes. Also, of course, we have the mural of sugarcane right here. Not sure if you got that, but yeah, that's the actual design of sugarcane itself. Pretty hard to replicate, but I think you get the point. You get the gist of it. Alright, I could have just done the paper, but I thought I would try to be clever and make the cane itself. Didn't work out. Alright, so that's the left wing, the sugarcane area. Now we will move on to the potions lab. As you can see, it is labeled by the banners themselves. So obviously this is the area that I do all of the potion brewing. This was the first contraption that I built in the potions lab. This is a multi-stack, massive brewing station. It's semi-manual, semi-automatic rather. Now, to work it, you just walk up here, and there we go. And you start brewing stuff. It's been a while since I've used this, alright? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. How this works is we just take a stack of ingredients, place them in chia, and a minecart, hopper minecart rather, picks this up, puts it in the chia, and once it is filled in, we press this button, let that sucker rip. The hopper minecart goes around the tracks, individually filling each brewing stand with a nether wart, and each nether wart gets placed in here accordingly. From there, the hopper minecart loops back around from this powered rail, goes through here, and then from there, of course, I just place in the stack of the ingredients themselves. That goes in, and hopper minecart comes out. Pretty simple, but very efficient. Now, the hard part is taking all of the bottles out And that's why all of these trapdoors here, because your inventory fills up really quickly. So you'll go along, fill up your inventory, and when you stop, you'll place down this trapdoor, leave, put all the bottles away, and then come back and you'll know where you last left off without checking all of the brewing stands. And this area right here, if I place all of the potions in this double chest, they end up in this shulker box right here. And when that shulker box is filled, it is sensed and broken, sending the shulker box into this hopper stream through under these slabs right here and into this barrel right here. I will demonstrate I will demonstrate that now with these potions of slow falling that we just created. So all of these are going to start disappearing. They're going to go in here, and once that is filled, it will break and be sent through the hopper stream. There it goes, and a new one comes in. And the shulker box is going through here, and whoop, there it is. Very easy way of sorting out all of the potions and placing them in shulker boxes and whatnot. So that is that, the massive brewing station. Yes, see? Now this area is a little smaller scale. This is simply an item sorter for all of the different ingredients. Okay, we got a little maintenance area where the maintenance guy hangs out, I guess. Now, this machine is much more complex. This is Mumbo Jumbo's potion lab. So this will automatically brew a potion, or 3 potions rather, at the press of a single button and flick of a lever. Say if we wanted some potions of swiftness, we just press that button right there. Sorts it out, the water bottles, the nether wart, the sugar, and even the optional gunpowder. Yeah, so this thing is cool, and it used all of this magic redstone back here to make that happen. Don't ask me how. It's just magic. See. That is not all, although it is almost all. Up here, we have all of the storage for the different types of potions, sorted out with these item frames. Additionally, we have where all of the potions are sent if any potions are put into the storage at the front. If any potions are put into the storage system right here, they go through this box, through this brewing stand, into here, through these hoppers, into this water stream, and up into these double chests. There you go. So that is the potions lab. Also, I'm very excited to change these floating torches into floating candles. And that, my dear ladies and gentlemen, is the cathedral. Looking up at the beautiful Minecraft night, I think about the wondrous things we have discovered here today, and we've learned today. The cathedral, Chuck's lumber mill, Dirty Steve's Bayou, all valuable places to this wonderful, wonderful world. Some a bit more than others. But regardless, in next episode, we will cover Trade City, along with the up-and-coming Witch Alley, and the ever-mysterious magical McCully Village. So, stay tuned for some more learning. Okay, bye now. Okay, goodbye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye now. Okay, goodbye.